This is the Sakar Murli of the 15th of April 2023. Essence: sweet children, continue to serve one another the nourishment of happiness. To stay constantly happy and in pleasure, and to share that happiness, is the most powerful hospitality. Question: what is the way to elevate your stage? What main things do you have to pay attention to? Answer: in order to make your stage elevated, 1. Have the courage to be a conqueror of attachment. 2. Keep your chart of what you talk to Baba about while remembering him, and for how long you remembered him. 3. You have to be a conqueror of sleep. 4. You have to look after your old body and also forget it. 5. Make your nature divine. Do not be influenced by your nature and thereby harass anyone. 6. Remove all defects and become a pure diamond. 7. Become a fragrant flower that gives happiness to everyone. Om Shanti. The spiritual father who gives each of you a third eye of knowledge sits and explains to you spiritual children. No one apart from the Father can give you a third eye of knowledge. Each of you children has received a third eye of knowledge. You know that this old world is now to change. The poor, helpless people do not know how or who is going to change it, because they do not even have a third eye of knowledge. Each of you children has now received a third eye of knowledge, with which you now know the beginning, middle and end of the world. This is the saccharin of knowledge. Even one drop of saccharin is so sweet. Similarly, the one word of knowledge is man above. It is sweeter than anything else. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. The Father is showing you the path to the land of peace and the land of happiness. The Father has come to give you children the inheritance of heaven. So you children should have so much happiness. It is said there is no nourishment like happiness. For those who remain constantly happy and in pleasure, it is as though it is nourishment for them. This is a very powerful nourishment, to remain in pleasure for 21 births. Continue to serve one another this nourishment. Offer this powerful hospitality to one another. No other human being can offer this type of hospitality to anyone else. You children offer spiritual hospitality to everyone according to Srimat. True welfare is also to give someone the Father's introduction. Sweet children, you know that you are to receive the nourishment of liberation in life from the unlimited Father. In the Golden Age, Bharat was liberated in life and pure. The Father is giving you great and elevated nourishment. This is why there is the praise. If you want to know about super sensuous joy, ask the gopis and gopis. This is such first-class, wonderful nourishment of knowledge and yoga, and only the one spiritual surgeon has it. No one else even knows about this nourishment. The Father says, "Sweet children, I have brought a gift for you on the palm of my hand. Only I keep this gift of liberation and liberation in life. Every cycle I come and I give it to you. Ravan then snatches it away from you. So the mercury of happiness of you children should rise so high. You know that your one Father is also the teacher and the true Satguru who will take you back with him. You receive the sovereignty of the world from the most beloved Father. Is this a small thing? So you should remain constantly happy. Godly student life is the best. That is the praise of this time. Then in the new world too, you will always be celebrating in happiness. The world doesn't know when true happiness is celebrated. People don't have any knowledge of the Golden Age, so they continue to celebrate here. However, where can happiness come from in this Tamo-Pratan world? People here continue to cry out in distress. This is a world of such sorrow. The Father is showing you children such an easy path. While living at home with your families, live like a lotus flower. Even while doing your business, etc., continue to remember me, just like a lover and beloved continue to remember one another. One is the lover and the other is the beloved. Here it is not like that. Here all of you are lovers of the one beloved, for birth after birth. The Father never becomes a lover. You have been remembering that beloved in order to meet him. When you experience more sorrow, you remember him more. It is remembered, everyone remembers him in times of sorrow, but no one remembers him in times of happiness. At this time, the Father is the Almighty Authority, the one with all powers, and so, day by day, Maya too is becoming a Tamo-Pratan Almighty Authority. This is why the Father now says, "Sweet children, become soul-conscious. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember me, your Father. And together with that, also imbibe divine virtues, and you will become like them, Lakshmi and Narayan." In this study, the main thing is remembrance. You should remember the highest on high Father with a lot of love and affection. It is that highest on high Father who will establish the new world. Father says, "I have come to make you children into the masters of the world. Therefore, now remember me, and the sins of your innumerable births will be cut away." The Purifier Father says, "You have become very impure, and this is why you must now remember me, and you will become pure and the masters of the pure world." People call out to the Purifier Father. Now the Father has come, so you definitely have to become pure. The Father is the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. Truly, there was the pure world in the Golden Age, and so everyone was happy. The Father says once again, "Children, continue to remember the land of peace and the land of happiness. It is now the Confluence Age, and the boatman is taking you from this side to the other side. It is not just a matter of one boat, but it is as though the whole world is one big ship, and he takes that across. The Father explains to you, sweetest children, consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. You can also engage yourselves in doing the Father's service, on God-fatherly service. The Father himself comes to make you into the masters of the world. Those who make effort very well are called Mahavirs. It is seen who are the Mahavirs who follow Baba's directions. The Father's order is, consider yourselves to be souls and to see others as your brothers. Forget those bodies. Even Baba doesn't look at bodies. The Father says, I look at souls. You know that a soul cannot speak without a body. I too have entered this body. I have taken it on loan. A soul can only study through a body. Baba's seat is here on the forehead. This is an immortal throne. A soul is an immortal image. A soul never grows bigger or smaller. A body is small or big. The thrones of all the souls is the centre of their foreheads. Bodies of all are different. The immortal thrones of some are of a male, and of others they are of a female. The immortal thrones of some are those of a child. The Father sits here and teaches you children spiritual drill. Whenever you speak to anyone, first of all consider yourself to be a soul. I, the soul, am speaking to my brother so-and-so. I am giving him the Father's message. Remember Shiv Baba. Only by having remembrance will the rust be removed. The value of gold is reduced when alloy is mixed into it. You souls have also become valueless because you souls have become rusty. You now have to become pure once again. Each of you souls has now received a third eye of knowledge. Look at your brothers with that eye. By looking at others as brothers, your physical organs will not cause mischief. If you want to claim your fortune of the kingdom and become a master of the world, then make this effort. Give knowledge to everyone while considering them to be your brothers. Then this habit will become firm. All of you are true brothers. The Father has come from up above, and you have also come from there. The Father is doing service together with you children. He is giving you the courage to do service. When a child has courage, the Father helps. So you have to practice. I, the soul, am teaching my brother. It is the soul that is studying. This is called spiritual knowledge, which you receive from the spiritual Father. Only at the Confluence Age does the Father come and give this knowledge. Consider yourself to be a soul. You came naked and then adopted that body here and have played your part for 84 births. You now have to return home. Therefore, consider yourself to be a soul and have the vision of brotherhood. You have to make this effort. You have to make effort for yourself. What does it matter to you what others do? Charity begins at home. This means that you first of all have to consider yourself to be a soul and explain to your brothers, and the arrow will then strike the target very well. You have to fill them with this power. Only when you make effort will you claim elevated fruit. You also have to tolerate a little. When someone tells you wrong things, just remain quiet. When you remain quiet, what can the other person do? Only when there are two hands can you clap. If one says something and the other remains quiet, the first one will naturally become quiet. When two hands clap, that is when there is conflict, there is sound. Children have to benefit one another. The Father explains, children, if you want to stay in constant happiness, become Manmalabhav. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. Look at your brother souls. Give this knowledge to your brothers too. By instilling this habit, the criminal eye will never deceive you. Look at each third eye of knowledge, the soul. Baba too only looks at you, you souls. You have to try to look constantly at the soul alone. Do not even look at the body. When conducting yoga, if you consider yourself to be a soul and continue to look at your brothers, good service will take place. Baba has said, explain to your brothers. All brothers claim their inheritance from the Father. Only once do you Brahmin children receive this spiritual knowledge. You are Brahmins, and you are then going to become deities. You are not going to leave this Confluence Age. How else would you go across? You are not going to jump there. This is the wonderful Confluence Age. So you children have to instill the habit of staying on the spiritual pilgrimage. It is a matter for your own benefit. Give the Father's teachings to your brothers. The Father says, I am giving knowledge to you souls. I only look at souls. When a person talks to another, he looks at his face. You speak to souls, and so you must only look at the soul. Even though you give knowledge through a body, you still have to break the consciousness of the body. You souls understand that the Father, the Supreme Soul, is giving you knowledge. The Father says, I look at souls. Souls also say, I look at the Father, the Supreme Soul. I am receiving knowledge from him. This is called an exchange of spiritual knowledge of souls with souls. This knowledge is in the soul. Knowledge has to be given to souls. This is like power. When your knowledge is filled with power and you then explain to anyone, the arrow will strike the target. The Father says, practice this and see if the arrow strikes the target or not. You have to instill this new habit, and the consciousness of the body will then be removed. There will be fewer storms of Maya. You won't have bad thoughts. You will not have a criminal eye. I, the soul, have been around the cycle of 84 births. This play is now coming to an end. You now have to stay in remembrance of Baba. It is only by having remembrance that you will become Sato-Pradhan from Tamo-Pradhan and become a master of the Sato-Pradhan world. It is so easy. The Father knows that giving you children these teachings is in his part. It is not anything new. I have to come every 5,000 years. I am bound by this. I sit and explain to you children. Sweet children, stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance, and your final moments will lead you to your destination. These are the final moments. Constantly remember me alone, and you will receive salvation. With the pilgrimage of remembrance, the pillars will become strong. Only once do you children receive these teachings to become soul conscious. This knowledge is so wonderful. Baba is wonderful, and Baba's knowledge is wonderful. No one else can ever give it. This is the highest clan of you Brahmins. At this time your lives are invaluable, and this is why you have to look after those bodies. Because of being Tamo Pradhan, the lifespan of your bodies has continued to reduce. The more you stay in yoga, the more your lifespan will increase. With your lifespan increasing, they will become 150 years in the Golden Age, and this is why you have to look after your bodies. Do not think that it is a puppet of clay and so it doesn't matter if it finishes. No. You have to keep it alive. This is an invaluable life. If someone is ill, do not be distressed by that one. Tell him to remember Shiv Baba. The more remembrance you have, the more your sins will be cut away. You have to serve that one so he continues to live and remember Shiv Baba. You children have to have courage in order to become destroyers of attachment. You have to become conquerors of attachment instantly. You have found the unlimited Father, and so you have to claim your full inheritance from him. Baba has explained to you children to keep your charts. What did I talk to Baba about when remembering him? How much did I praise him? How much did I remember him at the time of taking meals? And then I forgot him. It is essential to make your stage elevated. You have to become conquerors of sleep. Continue to increase remembrance. Continue to teach others. You definitely have to become destroyers of attachment in this. You also have to forget your old bodies. You now belong to the Father, so you have to remember him. You have to remember the Father who makes you into a diamond with so much love. Check, is my nature divine? People are very much harassed by their own natures. Each one of you has received your own third eye, so you have to check with that. Is my remembrance reaching Baba? Remove the defects you have and become a pure diamond. If there is the slightest defect, your value will be reduced. This is why you have to make effort to increase your value. Baba knows that you will reach your karmatic stage at the end, number-wise, according to your efforts. Nevertheless, Baba tells you to make effort. You will be loved by Baba, number-wise, according to the efforts that you make. Those who are fragrant flowers and who give happiness to others cannot remain hidden. The Father says to the children, sweet children, constantly remember me alone and the dirt will be removed. While remembering the Father, your hearts have to become completely cool. Let the remembrance of the Father harass you. Baba, sweet Baba, you are changing me so much from what I was. Others don't know what you are becoming. So you have to remember such a sweet Father with so much love. Some mothers who are in bondage stay in remembrance a lot. You can't tell how they are able to liberate themselves and come to Baba. Other children do not have as much love as the love that they have. They remember Baba a lot and shed tears of love. Baba, when will I meet you? Baba, the one who makes us into the masters of the world. Oh Baba, when will I be able to meet you personally? In this way they remember Baba with a lot of love. Baba, the one who removes all sorrow. You have created such a fortune for us. You make us into the masters of the world. They receive a lot of power from having remembrance. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dana. 1. When someone says wrong things to you, just remain quiet. Do not come into conflict with your mouth. That is, clapping with words. You have to tolerate it. Benefit one another. 2. Practice looking at your brother souls with your third eye of knowledge. Consider yourself to be a brother and give knowledge to your brother. Perform spiritual drill and enable others to do it. Make effort for yourself. Do not look at others. Blessing. May you be an elevated server and enable everyone to will everything with your willpower. At present, many souls are thirsty for your cooperation, but they do not have their own power. You especially have to give them help with your powers. Therefore, you servers who are instruments have to have the power of all powers. Father Brahma willed all the powers to the children at the last moment, and this task is being carried out with that will. Follow the Father in the same way. Will your powers to souls, and service will continue to be accomplished according to the time. Slogan. Where there are the powers of unity and concentration, success is easily attained. Om Shanti.